Hi friends, welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about fabric choices for a quilt block that we are going to be doing over in my Facebook group, Down the Country Lane. We're going to be doing a 4-patch quilt block. We're actually going to do the quilt block and then we're going to do make it into a pot holder. And so I wanted to go over fabric choices a little bit with you. If you're new to quilting or sewing, you may not know about your choices, and so I'm going to get right into the video. And this piece here is, you can see here, this piece has come off the bolt. When you go in a fabric shop, Walmart, wherever, Joann's, you're going to see fabrics like on a bolt. They're just wrapped around a cardboard, what is called a bolt. And you will just, choose your fabric and tell them, how much you want, whether you want, a quarter of a yard, a half yard. Now this is a yard of fabric here. You can see here, which that would be 36 inches, of course. And then your fabric on the bolt is folded. Okay, now this is your selvage edges. Okay, this is the fold. You can see right here where it's folded in half. Okay, and when, of course, your fabric is folded in half, it's about 22 inches from the fold to the selvage. When you open this piece of fabric up, it's going to be 44 inches. Now, some manufacturers, the widths might vary an inch or two, but for the most part, your quilter's cotton is about 44 inches wide. And you can, as I said, you can have this cut in any length you want. 2, 3 yards, 5, 6, whatever, that you're needing. Of course, for this pot holder, you're going to need, only 4 squares of you're going to need 4 4.5 inch squares. So you're not going to need much at all of your fabric. But there's that. And then I do want to tell you that for this pot holder that we're doing, don't use any polyester fabric, no t-shirt, stretchy, anything like that. You want 100% quilter's cotton because polyesters and different types of fabric will melt under heat, so you definitely don't want to use that for a pot holder. Your fabrics, as I said, you do want a quilter's cotton, and these come in a variety of prices. You can find, sometimes you can find fabrics for on clearance for $1 a yard. And then if, Walmart has some that is like $4.97 a yard. And then your quilt shops, your higher end quilt shops, you're going to pay $8, $10, $12 for a yard of fabric. Whatever your choice is, if you're on a budget, you'll want to go, of course, with the cheaper fabric. But, don't let these prices discourage you, because you can also use men's t-shirt or button-up shirts. A good cotton men's shirt or any kind of cotton fabric. You can definitely use old clothing to quilt with, to do pieces and quilts and whatever with old clothing. Women have been doing it for years and years. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. A lot of those quilts are still around today. Some people might disagree with that and tell you that you need only the best supplies, and and it's wonderful if you can afford that. But if you can't, As I said, since the beginning of quilting, people have been using just pieces of worn out clothing. You know, the better pieces that are left on, you know, old aprons, dresses, or whatever. And those quilts are still around, and I say it is how you take care of the quilt. After you make it, you know, if you make it out of old clothing, you know, you still need to take good care of it. Now, the next thing I'm going to tell you about is fat quarters. Now, these pieces here are fat quarters that came from Walmart. And these pieces are on a little piece of cardboard. I'll show you here. The inside are just wrapped around a little square like that. And they usually have a sticky label on them. And I always, when I bring these home, as soon as I bring the fat quarters or any other fabrics home, I always peel the label off, because if you leave those on there too long, a lot of times they will be permanently stuck and your fabric will not be useful in that area where that sticker was. So, you know, that's just a little tip for you. Take the, you know, the sticky labels off of any fabrics that you might get. Now, a fat quarter measures 18 inches wide by 22 inches long. And that's, you know, that's what a fat quarter is. So there's your choice on that. And these are 97 cents at Walmart. And again, these will vary in price depending on the quality and where you get them. Okay, and then the next thing, now these are the fat quarters here that I've talked about. These are called pre-cuts. These are already cut out and already bundled up, ready to go. Now, some more pre-cuts that I have are these charm squares. These are called charm squares, and you get a pack of about 40, anywhere from 40 to 42 is generally what comes in a pack, and they are just, as the name says, they're just, you know, a 5 by 5. They're, you know, charm squares are 5 by 5, and it's just a pre-cut piece of fabric. And, you know, these make it really handy for just, you know, opening up your package, and you can just start sewing a quilt together. And of course you can, you know, make half square triangles and a lot of different things, you know. You can cut these in half and sew them in different ways. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do with these. But that is your charm square. And again, these can be pricey, and you can find some that's not too pricey at all. So there is that. And then here is a pack of, now these are the fat quarters like we talked about here on these two fabrics. These are just bundled differently. These are sold individually. And sometimes you will find fat quarters that are bundled together like this with just coordinating fabrics. And I found these at Walmart a few weeks ago for like $2 on clearance. And I just love these little, there's umbrellas and some little birdies and daisies and bicycles. And I just thought that was really pretty. So I picked up one of those. And now something else that I don't have is a layer cake. A layer cake is a 10 by 10 square, and you get about 40 or 42 of those in a stack. They come, you know, bundled together, and they're called layer cakes. And then the other thing that I wanted to tell you about is a jelly roll. And a jelly roll is a 2.5 inch wide strip of fabric that is cut, you know, off the bolt. Now you can make your own if you want to, you know, but they're pre-cuts as well, and they're just bundled in a round, like a little round bundle tied together with a ribbon, and they are cut. I'll show you here. as I said, this is your selvage, and so over here is your fold, and they are cut 2.5 inches this way by the width of the fabric all the way over. So your strip is going to be 2.5 inches by about 44. Okay, so there are some of the fabric choices that you have for your quilting, and you guys can check some of these out, and get online and read up on your different cuts of fabric, and the sizes that they come in and all that. But as I said, don't let prices that you see online or in a quilt shop discourage you, because you can definitely quilt with old clothes. There are all kinds of things you can do with, men's button-up shirts, the cotton ones, even women's clothing, kids' clothes. As long as it's cotton, it's going to work. So, as I said, no polyester, silk, anything like that, because you're going to get burned really bad if you use that for a pot holder. So in this, for these videos, and in this instance, we are doing the pot holder. So I guess that just about wraps it up. I'll be back with another video real soon. I'm going to try to get these posted as soon as I can within the next 2 or 3 days, and that way you guys can go ahead and start working on these. As I told you in the video that I did a couple of days ago, I had done videos and I lost footage because I had bought a new phone, and I had been filming with it, and I don't know why I couldn't get my videos off, but I ended up losing them, so I'm having to video again. So that's why it's taken so long, and I appreciate you guys bearing with me and sticking around. So you guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel here on YouTube, I would appreciate it. Share this video around. You guys might have friends who would be interested in this quilt along, and we would love to have them jump on board. So till the next video, you guys be blessed. Happy trails.